Let's talk about those pretty videos that are in your ad account and on your Instagram that generate a few views. You spend a lot of money and time onto them, but they don't perform. And it's a symptom I see on a lot of ad accounts and a lot of brands, especially in fashion. It's a really sensitive topic. Like super beautiful productions, nice locations, expensive casting and models, but no performance. And unfortunately, due to Andromeda and since Andromeda, it has become more clearly that pretty doesn't always mean converting. It has a place, don't get me wrong. I do believe branding content, big productions, and very awareness like campaigns have their place, but probably not in the situation you are right now. I do believe they have a big place when you're an extremely big brand. Think of Nike, think of Apple, think of all the other big brands out there. And they even have a place in smaller brands, but not in the way that you think of right now. It's not gonna drive the main performance, right? How I see a brand, and it's maybe a bit of a weird angle, but how I see brand is I see it as the red line across all of your assets. So I believe that brand is actually something that's in performance assets, in your web shop, in your CRO, in your email marketing. Brand is just a way of conveying the message and how you want to position your brand. So I see the brand as the red line across the entire type of assets you have, right? I don't see it as branding assets and just one video that's branding, right? I see it really as the red line across all of your assets. Because look at, for example, Upfront. They have like extremely good performance assets, but they run their brand, their storytelling, their narrative, their position across their performance assets as well. They create a lot of performance assets, but that doesn't mean it looks shit. It still looks nice. It's brand driven, right? So that's how I look at brand. And I think as a brand, you should be focusing on cash flow first. It's the oxygen that drives your company. If you don't have cash flow, you can't invest, you can't grow your company. So that's what I'm saying. Like focus on performance first, brand, and like it's really hard because these two intertwine. But focus on that performance really first, and just make sure that your narrative, your story, is in those performance assets. And I think that's the biggest reason that nowadays pretty videos get confused with performance. Like there's one other video on my channel where I talk about how we structure every creative concept, and let me quickly introduce it to you so that you're reminded of it. It's the use case or persona, the moment that persona is living in, the bucket, so UGC, video ads or statics, and then the format, comparison, storytelling, whatever. If you think of all those things, there's a lot of different creative options to create in your performance assets, and just make sure that your brand story is driven across those creative assets. And if you then test a lot of performance assets, there is just one that's going to click, and that's why creative output matters so much, so that you can test a lot of different formats, use cases, moments, so that you can find that winning angle that drives most of your revenue, because it is truly like that. One winning ad can maybe drive 60% of your revenue, and that's cash you can reinvest in finding multiple angles. And yeah, with Andromeda, it's really about creating something native and authentic. And what I see is UGC is performing really well at the moment when it's authentic, when it's not just a script that's being read. I mean, people that see a pretty ad, what do you do when you see a pretty ad coming across your page? It screams, this is an ad, buy from me, right? In most cases. And that's why I believe like the most native, authentic content on the platform is gonna win in the next few months. And everything can change in 6 months time or 2 months time, right? But at this moment, as I'm uploading this video, I think authentic content wins. And that's why your pretty videos are in most cases underperforming your performance assets.